Guys, sometimes us knife guys get into the pretentious, beautiful knives and forget that every once in a while, you need just a good, plain, functional work knife. Well, that's what this is. No frills, just a good all-around everyday carry knife. So let's take a look at this Recomended knife. Guys, this is that Recomended hand feel knife, like I said in the intro, that I got from them. I reached out to them. This was the knife they sent me. I did not pay for this knife, in all transparency. But what I gotta say is this is, like I said in the intro, probably one of the best no frills budget work knives that I've had come in a while. The finish is held up really well and it's cut really low. So this is a 9CR18 MOV blade that is done really, really well, comes down nice and thin, has held up really, really well. G10 on a liner lock format. And I mean, there's really not much else to say, except it does run on bearings, thumb stud, and flipper. Where it excels is this thing cuts so well, and it's built really well and is so comfortable. So I'm going to try and find a spec sheet. If not, I'll just put up the specs as I can find them right here. And we'll get a couple knives out for size comparison. First knife for size comparison is the Benchmade 940. And not only do I use it because most people are going to know that, it's a really good comparison for this knife. They're very similar in size and blade shape. So there you go. Your final knife is going to be, as always, the Chris Reese Sebenza Large 21. You can see a good bit larger, another knife that most people are going to have a size reference. So let's get this out of the way. We're going to talk about what I like about this knife and the couple of little things that I didn't like. So before we get into that, I would just like to ask you guys, if you could just go check out Coffee Brand Coffee, use my link down below. It has a coupon code built into it. They are a sponsor of the channel, and I just appreciate if you check them out. So this knife came to me and I was pretty underwhelmed at first, and then I started using it, and that's been the story with a few of these knives that have come in lately and recently. I was not super overwhelmed because it is pretty plain Jane, but I will tell you, for a work knife, this has excelled at everything I've thrown at it. I have not had to resharpen this. This is still the original edge. It probably needs touched up now. I went through a lot of cardboard with this. And not only did the edge hold up, but so did the finish on that steel. Now, this is 9CR18 MOV. It's not a super steel by any long stretch, but it's also not a horrible steel. The blade shape is really good. You've got a lot of flat, a little bit of belly, a nice piercing tip, kind of a spear point blade, nice and stretched. And it comes down to a really good behind the edge thickness. I have another Recomended knife that showed up, and I'm going to tell you, blade and edge geometry on it are great as well. The other things that this has going for it is the action on this is very, very good for a sub $50 knife. Flipper action on it. It has a very long flipper tab. I do know that that's not something everybody likes, but it turns into a very, very good finger guard. It also has thumb stud deployment, which on both, it's really, really good. Super good access to the lock bar on this. And the lockup is really good, and it has not at all felt like it was going to slip. And there has been zero blade play any direction that has developed in this. I don't hear any of the bearing play or anything like that. It does run on bearings. Runs on ceramic bearings. You can see them in there. And you're seeing you've got pretty decent lock engagement on that. You're locking up just at about 50% there. Like I said, really good access there. You do have some jimping and things here. If that's something you like, you have a little bit of extra grip down there. And the G10 on this it's been done really well. It's nice and flat. It has a little bit of texturing, but the pocket clip is not too tight, so you don't get any real damage to your pockets, but you do get really good purchase. This is one of the more comfortable knives that has come in recently to cut with. I did a lot of heavy cutting with this, and I didn't really feel the pocket clip too much. Now, you're always going to feel pocket clip, especially these ones that are ramped like this, but this one is pretty comfortable. And then as far as how it's held up and stuff like that, like I said, I think they did a really good job on a heat treat on this. There is a tiny little misgrind at the very front, but this has held up really well to everything I've done so far. Now, I will say there are a couple small things about this that I don't like. and we're going to flip it around and talk about those. So while I do like everything about this pretty much, there's a couple small things. This is another one of those knives that when I push down real hard, I have to adjust my grip to keep it lined up with the cut. I have to consciously think about it because when I don't, it kind of rolls out of the alignment of the cut. Now, if I get my hand in just the right position, it does, but I have to make that conscious thought. So just grabbing it in the natural way that I would grab that knife, I'm a little bit misaligned. I typically don't care about this too much, but I believe that this would have been a good one that they could have done a reversible pocket clip on this. About that, guys. What I was saying was, this is one that you definitely could have gotten away with putting a reversible pocket clip on it, especially like as a budget knife that would appeal to more people. All you would have to have done was just throw a couple screw holes in there and then a couple extra screws and you'd have been fine. There's only two other small things that I would mention. I don't like the blade, the termination of the edge on this, but like I said, it's a $40 knife. I'm not going to complain too much. But they could have done a little bit better job of terminating that grind because you are going to have a bit of a smile there. I don't know how hard this would be to sharpen. I haven't sharpened yet, so I don't know about that. And then the only other little thing, I don't dislike the flipper tabs so much, but I do believe they could have gotten away with a less prominent, less proud pocket clip. That's one of the things I've started to get that I really do like is smaller flipper tabs. Now, like I said, it does turn into a very, very good finger guard on this one. But other than those little things, this is an awesome just throw in your glove box and keep work knife, have it in your toolbox. Because it comes really sharp. It's been easy to keep sharp and maintain. I've only done a little bit of stropping on it and it has held up. And 9CR is a very, very rust resistant material. So all around good. Throw it in your pack. Have it as an extra knife if you need one kind of knife. So guys, that's pretty much it. I'm really happy with this. I'm going to put a purchase link to this and I will be sending this video over to Remet and putting it on Amazon because I honestly think this is one of those little knives that I can absolutely recommend for you, especially at the price point. So there you go, guys. Let's turn this around, do some final thoughts. Guys, for just lacking bells and whistles shouldn't be an issue with the knife. This is an amazingly good little knife, especially at the price point. I have put it through its paces. I did a lot of cutting. You guys have seen it in videos where it was all scratched up before I cleaned up the finish on it. Not all scratched up, but all kinds of residue and stuff on it. It's a very good knife. And at $40, I absolutely have to say I got to recommend it all day and every day. So probably twice on Sunday. Guys, I'll put a link to it down below. If you want to support the channel, best thing you do is like the videos and share them with people you think would enjoy them as well. You got to tell me what you don't like about videos if you give them a thumbs down. That way I can change the content. I need that constructive criticism. But if you do want to support the channel financially, like I said, I have Coffee Brand Coffee as a sponsor. I also have Tempered Trail. Both of them share a coupon code of Crazy Sharp, all one word, capital C, capital S, saves you 5% at checkout. I have Dahlstrom Kitchen Knives also as a sponsor. If you're looking for good quality kitchen knives, that's where I would go because if they don't have it, it's probably not because they don't have it. It's because you didn't look hard enough. Huge selection. Other way you can do it, I have an Amazon affiliate link or Amazon store down below, which is where I'm going to get a link to this because I think that's the only place I can find it. Anything you purchase from that Amazon store, it's just like regular Amazon. Click on it, then search your items. I just get credit for it from Amazon for having brought you to those items. I also have a membership down below where you can get in on tier-based benefits where everyone gets early access to videos. Everyone has access to my Gilded server, which is just like Discord. Lots of stuff always going on there. Baseline and premium tier members are entered into giveaways that I do on the Gilded server, and the premium tier members have access to a sharpening tutorial series that I've built here on YouTube for them and them alone. It's behind that paywall. Guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. It makes it easier to moderate the channel. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I'll see you in the next video.